What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo. And I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
And the streak continues and the fight continues. Yes, with seconds to go in the overtime. The Minnesota Mild were able to score and win that game. They're tied with the Blues still, but they've got that better number. They've got 3 games left. I think they've got one against Arizona, one against Colorado, or I forget who the third one is against. The Blues have 2 games left, one against well, here come the handshakes for Getzlaf. He's going to be the star of the game. Even though they lost, he'll be star of the game, right? There's no doubt in that. So this is pretty cool for him. I think it's great. Yeah, I'm with that. I agree with you there. How we won this game? It's easy, right? You know, the first period was an abnormally. We took 20 shots. We didn't have any goals. We were going to score. In Calgary. Okay. They've got 2 tough games. They got 2 tough games out of the 3. I can easily see them losing one. Whether or not we lose one, that's where it comes next. Hey, Windy. They're doing the handshakes for Getzlaf. He'll probably be the first star of the game. I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, last game in the NHL, that's you know, right, let him do that. I got no issue with that. That's just one of them, what do you call it? You know, just one of them classy things you do. And that's what I like about the NHL. You don't see this in anything else. You know, all the Blues out there, you know, usually when you win a game away, you just walk away, but they're all out there tapping the sticks, and he's got his kids on the bench, and I think that's pretty cool. Everything that they're doing for this. You know, you know, this game is one of those games. It is what it is. You know, somebody asked, how did we win that game? Oh, Getzlaf was the first, second, and third star.
Makes sense.
That's pretty cool. I'll give it to him.
I mean, on Pat Foley night, Pat Foley got the first star of the night. So
yeah. So you know, I can see that. Right. I think it's pretty neat for him. And again, you don't get a lot of guys that play their whole career in one place.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing. I think we got in Gibson's kitchen and he fell apart. We just started scoring from there. You know, Aaron, it wasn't even that. We made our own puck luck, right? That's what it comes away with. We made our own puck luck.
And lately, Gibson's not been like John Gibson. So
say again.
John Gibson has not been like himself lately.
Yeah.
So.
Right. I mean, they only took 3 shots in the first. You know, how do they score 2 goals on 3 shots? I mean, you'll almost never see that, right? You'll never see. I mean, you'll see a team score 2 shots in their first 2 shots.
Yeah.
But then, you know, they'll have 15 shots or 10 shots in a period, but they only have 3. You know, that's just that. I love seeing Blues remain on the ice after the game. Such a class. Everyone does that. You know, the Blues are a class organization, no matter what Wendy says. And
are they really?
Huh?
Are they really?
You want to challenge class organizations right now?
I'm just giving you crap. Hang on.
I know, buddy. I love you, man, and that's just all part of it. Hold on, I want to let everybody hear what Getzlaf's got to say.
Thank you to my lovely wife, Paige, and my kids, Mom, Dad, Dave, Judy. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for everything you've done. Hope we can enjoy the rest of the night. Thank you, guys.
Man, these guys, he's 36 years old, and he looks so much older. He actually might be a little older than that. Been in the league for 17 years, but, I mean, they look so much older, man. The league just takes it out of you.
He's been bald since he was, like, a teenager, so.
Say again.
He's been bald since he was a teenager. So.
One of those guys, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, hell of a game. Scandella did have a good game. I absolutely. Why do you think Ashley's gone? Ashley doesn't want to come in and say how good Scandella played. He thanked the Blues for staying out there. And you know what? I kind of felt that. Wild are number 1, humble. No, they're not. Nice try. No, after Tarasenko scored the second goal, Gibson looked like he was beside himself. Puck luck, Aaron. You make your own puck luck. Our last 2 games are the Avalanche and Vegas. And Vegas, are they losing?
It's 1-1.
1-1, 14-22 in a second.
Play.
Yeah. So,
bet you did not see how Minnesota won that game in overtime.
No, I did not.
Eriksson Ek made an absolute great play holding on to the puck against Sissons, and it led to a wide open Wild player right in the slot, and he buried it bar down with 1 second left.
Yeah, I know it was close, right? Is what it is, It's going to be, they got 3 games, we've got 2. They have to win all 3. We have to win 2, right? That's what it comes down to, right? If we win our 2 games, they have to win all 3. So we'll just kind of see how it goes. Proud of the Blues organization and players for staying on the ice and congratulating Getz. I think they're not good. They weren't going anywhere. Can't count on Nashville for nothing. Rosen put on Scandella's jersey in the 3rd. That's good. Wild won another game in overtime. Whoop-de-doo. Scandella was shooting the puck right into Husso's. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, my goodness. No 3-on-3 in the playoffs. No, there's no 3-on-3 in the playoffs. Kuyev, I can't say that, all alone. Brad Pond is ready for the playoffs. And exactly, Matt. Go ahead, Lance.
I wanted to say something to the people that I'm sure are now back on the Jordan Kyrou bandwagon. Those haters of Jordan Kyrou that say Walker and Torchenko should start over him. Let's look at 2 players for the Ducks that I know Wendy knows about, and most of us here, I think all of us know about. Terry and Zegras. Terry, it'll be 25 this year, and Zegras, I believe, is 21. He turned 21 in March. They've both played in 1 more game than Kyrou. Terry's got 64 points, and Zegras has got 58. Before tonight's game, the guy that they say is terrible defensively, Kyrou, and is subject on defense, and just gives up too many passes and doesn't, clear the zone quick enough. He's a +11 before tonight's game defensively. And I know that doesn't tell the whole story. I understand that. But let's look at 2 other young, very good players in the league. Terry has 64 points. He's a -7. Zegras, that everybody goes on about, and I love him. I mean, you got to love the guy. He's a great player. -23. And I talked to a few Ducks people tonight, after I talked to you guys. That's why I wasn't on. And they love him out there. And I told them what everybody was doing to Kyrou out here, and they think we're nuts. They think we're totally crazy because they're putting up with Zegras being a -23, and they think he's doing a great job. I just want people to appreciate what we have in Jordan Kyrou. I mean, not every guy is a two-way player. We all know that, but I just wanted to get that in so that people really can see the outside picture and some other players in the league.
Yep. Look, Kyrou is a good player, right? He's slightly confused right now. He had a good game tonight. He had a good game.
Yep.
Even though he made some mistakes, he still had a good game. They came out. This team could have fallen apart, being down 2-0, taking 13, 14 shots and not scoring a goal. This team could have fallen apart. They took 20 shots before they finally got a goal, and then they just were able to score in bunches. You've got to stick with your game. You have to stick with your game, and you have to believe in your game. This team does that. It's our fan base that doesn't do that. Me and Ashley said at the first intermission with Wendy, we're not worried about this. We weren't worried about it at all. And you just knew that this team was ready to score. It was coming, right? John Hamm or not, it was coming. Boy, she looks happy there, Ash.
Yeah, well, I can't let her down, and if I put her to bed, she's gonna cry. So she's stuck on
she
my
doesn't
lap.
know if she wants up or down.
Yeah, she wants to run around, but there's 5 kids sleeping, so.
Oh, yeah, one of them. Wendy, what is your impressions on Kyrou and what he is as a player?
Well, he's still a young player trying to find his full game. He may have had a great start to the season and now is on a rough patch. That's what his game is right now. Any young player in the league's going to go through rough parts and there's seasons. He made the All-Star team for a reason this year. Granted, All-Star games, in my opinion, are a joke, but there's a reason he played on the Central Division All-Star team, because he had a great season. This year, at this point in the year, he's having a rough part, and we're just seeing what a young player is trying to do in their development of a game.
Well, I find it hard to say he's having a rough part when he scored, 66 goals or 66 points, and I think he got 2 points tonight. So 68 points. He's
Vegas.
just under. Say again?
2-1 Vegas.
2-1 Vegas? Okay. So he's just under a point per game player for the season. He's got 62 games with 68 points, or 72 games with 68 points. That's... Blues this will be the first, I can't remember the last time the Blues had 3 players at a point per game.
How many points did he get tonight? Because before tonight's game, I saved the screenshot. He played in 71 games and had 68 points before tonight.
Well, I'm looking. I thought it was 66. So 68, and I think he got 2 tonight.
Yeah, so he's at 70 points, and
yeah,
like you said,
70 points. Let me double check that real quick. I got to blow it up, man. My eyes are crappy. Let's see.
Because it's going to take him a while to update.
Yeah, he had 2 points, had a goal and an assist.
Yep.
So he's just under a point per game, and really, if he gets 2 points, if he gets 4 points in the next, he's at 70. 68, so he's at 70. He needs 4 points. Right? 4 points to get. Say again?
4 points for what?
4 points, it'll be a point per game player. Right? Because they'll end up paying.
He's already played 70. This was the 72nd game.
Yeah, and he's at 70.
Yeah.
So he'll end up playing a total of 74 games. He gets 4 points. He's a point per player game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right, that's it. 4 points, and he can easily do. I think he could do 4 points. Mm-hmm. Right, I think Chin and Perron were close. I think they both fell off.
Perron is 10 points off of a point per game pace.
Yeah, I think Kyrou is the next guy to get it. But we have 3 point per game players solidified.
Yep,
Tarasenko, Thomas, and Buchnevich are all point per player games.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You don't need to get 82 points to be a point per player game. You have to have as many points as games you played. Mm-hmm. Right? And that's what they all have. Right? So I know Tarasenko has 82 points now, but none of them played 82 games, are going to play 82 games. So that's it. So, there's a lot of, again, it's a lot of surface watching. And I didn't want to say this, and I didn't want to set anybody, but when the John Hamm King came, right? If the TV doesn't say a thing about John Hamm being in the booth when the goals are scored, no one mentions it, right? That's a surface thing, and I don't mean that in a bad way, right? I don't, but that's the truth, right? All that John Hamm stuff was because of what was said on TV. We hear something, and we go off that. We don't look deeper, and that's one of how I feel about it with Kyrou. We're not looking deeper at what's going on. I think there's a lot more deeper than what's going on. Parayko, same way. Earlier in the season, oh my God, Parayko was our whipping boy.
Mm-hmm.
Whipping boy, whipping boy, whipping boy.
And
You
he
know,
went
and he
from being
finally-
like a negative 16 to most people don't realize he's positive. I think 15. I haven't looked in a while, but he went a whole swing the other direction in the good.
Pareko. Where is
He's,
Mr. Pareko
yeah, he's
here?
definitely picked it up recently. I just think that contract that he's got, he's not playing bad now, but that contract he's got, he's not playing up to that contract.
He needs
3-1
another year
figure.
till he gets it because he had a rough. He had COVID, and COVID took some out of him. He had surgery, and it took some out of him. He's a plus 12. He went from a negative, I think he was a negative 22 or 23, to a plus 12 in about 30 games.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive,
It is.
right? And I know someone was banging on me. Tammy was. It happened before when he was in the booth, and that's why they're going to say it. It did happen. It happened one other time, right? And he called one goal. He called Barbashev's goal against LA. That's the only. He's been in the booth other times and not had goals go in, right? So that's why I thought there was a lot to be made about
Okay, I'm
that.
going to go up to Ian. He asked a question, and I'm going to say, I don't care. I don't care.
What do you think, Lance? You are the same impression?
I don't care.
Hey, Wendy?
I think Minnesota gets it, and you Blues fans getting cocky about playing Minnesota is going to bite yourselves in the butt.
I'm trying not to be cocky about
Yeah,
it.
I mean, you were cocky last week about it when I was on.
Yeah, but I mean, it's guys. We all know this. What happens in the regular season over the last couple of years means
not
squat in the playoffs. Means squat. Look at the year that the Blackhawks, I think, lost to the Predators, and nobody was expecting the Preds to beat them. The Preds destroyed them.
And the Hawks swept the Predators in the regular season that year.
Yeah.
The Hawks, this is a similar situation St. Louis is in. The Hawks were in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Watch St. Louis get smacked in the playoffs if they play against Fleury. I think Minnesota in 5 can happen.
Yeah, I don't think, Wendy, that the Blues players are looking past Minnesota. I think the fans are.
Yeah.
No, Wendy, we swept Minnesota this year. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I know it does not matter.
I get back. Hold on. There's a difference here. How was Chicago playing at the end of 2017? I kind of remember them losing a couple of games, losing like 4 out of their last 5 or something like that. And I remember Nashville playing really, really well towards the end, getting into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I remember that. I also remember St. Louis playing really well towards the end, and Minnesota not playing well towards the end in that season. And St. Louis beat Minnesota in 17 in 5 games. It has a lot more to do with how you're playing right now. And the thing that you need to look at is actually both Minnesota and St. Louis are playing very, very well right now. Very well. St. Louis is just a tad better than Minnesota in the month of April.
I'm just saying that I hear a lot. Blues fans are basically already saying they're going to knock out Minnesota in 5.
Yeah, I'm hearing 4 or 5.
At the point, I'm one not to look past the series. I'm one to look at a series and say, this is the series. That's what you're playing for. You don't play past the series. You gotta get a win in a series before a series is even started. Because right now, St. Louis fans are thinking they're going to smack the Wild. Wild fans think they could lose to St. Louis, but it's regular season play versus playoffs. The playoffs are a whole new season.
Yeah, and I think another thing is it's bad, and some people do it. I've heard it on other Blues podcasts, not guys, of course, but people are focusing so much on the Avalanche. They've just got the Avalanche on their brain. Well, when we go play the Avalanche in the playoffs, wait a minute, you got to get past the Wild.
Yeah.
let's not worry about the Avalanche. Let's not worry about other teams. Take it one game at a time. And I think it's going to be a really even series. I don't think it's going to be a 4 or 5 game series. Could it happen? Yeah. I think it's going to be a 6 or 7 game series.
I'm with you on that, Lance.
I really
Yeah,
agree.
I do too. I see 6 or 7. So in the month of April, Blues have played 13 games. They're 11-0-2. The Wild have played 13 games. They're 10-1-2. Their one loss was to St. Louis, right? And I think their overtime loss was to St. Louis. So, be honest, the two teams are playing very, very close. 9:23 hockey to 8:46 hockey.
Mhm.
Right? I'm not looking past Minnesota. I just think that the Blues have a slight edge. And one of the things that I think the Blues have a huge edge on, well, Ian said it earlier, we're a really good 5-on-5 team, and then we're the best ever at 6-on-5. I don't know where he got that stat. You can let me know later. But when it comes down to it, the Blues are just as good 5-on-5 as Minnesota is. Right? I think we're just as good 5-on-5. We're plus, I forget what the number is, not counting tonight. I don't know how many 5-on-5 goals we had. I think we had a bunch. I don't think we had, did we have a power play goal tonight? I don't think so.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, we had one.
One, and then,
I think it was, I'm going to look it up real quick just because that's the better. I thought it was the third goal.
Yeah, it's currently 3-1 in Vegas right now. Just a
Right.
score update.
5-on-5, up until this game, we scored 191 and gave up 158. Right? So that's plus what? 30 something? 58, 68, 78, 88, 30,
34.
34, 33.
33.
Plus 33. Right? Now, what are and the Wild up until tonight, right? Because I don't know what they did tonight. I'm going to look at, where they're at up to tonight. Not counting tonight's game, because I don't have that available to me. I mean, we could probably look it up and figure it out. But the Wild, I'm pulling it. Give me a
We did
second.
not have a power play goal. I thought
I didn't think they did. One thing, Guy, you're spot on. 5-on-5 is great. But I think Wendy and I think Guy and I think you will agree with me too, Ashley. A lot of playoff series are determined by special teams. Do you give up?
Yeah.
Do you take too many penalties? Do you score on the power play? How's your penalty kill and goaltending? I think the team in this series that stays out of the penalty box and scores on the power play is going to win this series.
Yep. Minnesota is plus 55. 43. Let me do 43. 53, 60, 73, 83, 90. Yeah. Plus 55. And what I said, we were plus 33.
33. They are better.
They're a little better, but again, it's going to come down to special teams, right? It's going to come down to special teams. And because of that, because it's special teams, it takes the Blues know that they can give up penalties and have their back, right? They could give up 1 or 2 penalties, maybe even 3 penalties a game, and not give up and be able to keep a team, even a good team, from scoring on the power play. Now, Minnesota, when it comes to special teams, not counting tonight, and I'm going to reiterate that, not counting tonight. Let me look these numbers up here real quick. So
Aaron
Minnesota.
asked a good question after your numbers.
Okay, Minnesota is 18th in the league overall in power play at 20.6. And their penalty kill is 24th in the league at 75.7. St. Louis is second and fifth. Second and fifth, right? If this comes down to special teams, this is St. Louis's series. Right? This is St. Louis's series.
That's if they continue to play that well in the playoffs. I've seen a lot of teams finish top 5 in power play, top 5 in penalty kill, and they suck on both in the playoffs. I'm hoping the Blues don't do this, but it is going to come down, like you said, Guy, to special teams. But I really like this question for you, Guy. I want you to answer this.
Okay. You're right. I do say you make your own puck luck, and you're using semantics a little bit there, Aaron. What I'm talking about, being in the right place where a puck bounces off you and goes in, that's making your own puck luck, right? There's skill involved, but there's luck involved too. And last season, all of you guys, including you, Aaron, I remember you saying this. We don't have any puck luck. Remember that? I remember Aaron saying this. I'm almost dead certain. We don't have any puck luck. We don't have any puck luck. We don't have any puck luck. You guys were saying that left, right, and center last season. And I kept saying we make our own puck luck. We make our own puck luck. And that is important. And you make your own puck luck by being in the right place at the right time. Yeah, I'm with that, Robert. I'm with that, Robert. That's what I mean by you make your own puck luck. And if you don't believe in puck luck, watch tonight's game again. The first 2 goals bounced. The second goal hit a person, hit the post, and goes in. Well, that post, if you hit it 1 millimeter this way, it goes in that way. You hit it 1 millimeter that way, it goes that way. So, it all depends on where that, there's a little bit of puck luck involved there. Did I answer that question good enough, or was it like bad?
No, I just want to add a little bit to it too. What guys call on puck luck can also mean that, like he said, you're in the right place at the right time. You're moving around. You're standing in front of the net. Only good things happen when you stand in front of the net for rebounds. You work your butt off, and then all of a sudden you get a bounce. People call that puck luck, but it happened because you worked your butt off and you got that right bounce. So he's not saying, well, they're lucky, but I think any coach will tell you, you've got to have some puck luck to win a Stanley Cup. It's not all on talent. It's being at the right place at the right time for the right opportunity. Or if your defense, it's for being at the right place at the right time to stop the other team's opportunities.
And Scandella tonight.
Essentially, it's being able to capitalize and be opportunistic when you work hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. And Scandella tonight. I'm sorry. That's a little bit of puck luck there.
Yeah.
Scandella being in the right place at the right time,
yep.
to get a stick down there to get it out. That's some puck luck there. And look, Aaron, you're allowed to say what again, don't take this as me attacking you. I'm not. Right. I'm answering your question. And I do remember last season, and Lance, you remember this. How many people said we didn't have any puck luck last year?
I heard a lot of people say that,
right?
Actually.
That was consistently a theme on this show. I think maybe even Wendy heard it. Right?
Yeah.
We don't have any puck luck. We don't have any puck luck. And I kept saying this last year.
You
make your own puck luck.
Yeah.
And this season, right off the bat, first game of the season against Colorado, we got a couple of lucky bounces, right? We got some good bounces. We got some good things happen that won that game, right? The first 5 games until we met Colorado at home, we were getting some good bounces that helped us win those games. Right? That's where I'm at. We have seen the power play dry up a little bit, but I think the way it ramps up in the in the postseason, I don't think this power play is going to I don't think this power play is going to dry up.
I mean, right? Even though we didn't capitalize, we got 4 good shots off on the power play, and that momentum stayed until we got our first goal. So I have no doubt that our power play is going to be just fine. Even if we don't capitalize on it during the 2 minutes, we'll keep that momentum and still be able to score.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. By the way, I think that little creaking, or what you guys all think is the battery in somebody's fire detector, is actually my mic. Right? I think my mic's doing it because I noticed that it's only when I'm talking that it hears. So I think it's something to do with this mic, and hopefully I'll be able to get some money coming in soon and be able to get a new mic.
I want to ask Wendy next one thing.
Yeah.
I know people are going to find this hard to believe, but I do know some Blackhawks fans in the St. Louis area, and we've been talking about Taves. You know, you and I discussed it a couple of weeks ago. I think you and I both thought that he's probably going to retire, but I'm also hearing he wants to play one more year. Have you heard any updates on that?
Yeah, I hear he wants to play one more year. His contract ends next season, so he has one more year left on the contract. What I think happens once his contract's up, he's retiring.
Yeah. I just wanted to check because that's what I was hearing too. So,
I mean, as of late right now, Taze actually has been producing well. I get it. His numbers this year were not good. Well, you have to also put into the fact that he missed all of last year of play of hockey, and he dealt with a concussion midway through this season as well. So he's been dealing with a lot of injury and health concerns in the last 2 seasons.
and what was your take on him being a little upset? He was out there the other night for 3 minutes and 25 seconds.
I don't blame him.
I don't.
Wouldn't you be mad if you're stuck out there for 3 minutes?
Yeah. Did you play hockey as a kid, younger guy?
I play hockey.
Okay. Can you imagine being on a shift with players like they have in the NHL for 3.5 minutes? I mean, you want to keep your shifts 40 seconds to a minute at the most. These guys start getting 2-3 minutes out there. You're winded.
Draining.
Yeah, you're winded. You're drained.
Do you remember what Chris Chelios wanted to do?
He was down.
Yeah.
When he went to the bench and slammed his stick to the boards, I understand it. I don't blame him. And whoever he was yelling at, I noticed Kane was having a little bit of a laugh about it because they were sitting right beside each other on the bench. What I think was happening, Kane knows how ticked off Taze was because he could not get off the freaking ice. At least no goal went past him.
Yeah.
So,
Can you imagine how livid he'd be if he couldn't get to somebody because he was wore out? Oh, he would have been even more livid.
Yeah. Taze was out there.
Was it the long change?
3 minutes and 20. No other players changed. They kept him in there for 3 minutes and 25 seconds.
Well, the issue was the Hawks could not clear the puck
No,
out
they
of
couldn't.
their own
Nope.
zone.
Okay.
They managed to get players off. Taze just could not get off the ice because he was at center or playing back for the defense because our defense does not like to play back for some reason. And you could just see how physically drained he was during the 3-minute shift.
Do you guys remember what Chris Chelios used to say? What his goal was?
Chris Chelios said a lot of things.
Yeah. He wanted to play a 60-minute game. He wanted to play an entire game.
I don't know how, Guy. I really don't.
Well, didn't he average one season like 37 minutes a game?
I don't think it was that high. He played a lot of minutes in his career, but I don't know if it got that high.
I mean, Chelios was a whole nother breed of person. He was playing with no ACL for years, apparently, and from the book that he wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember him saying he wanted to play an entire game.
Jeez.
Right. So, that's just absolutely crazy. And I hope I didn't make Aaron mad, but I see things under the surface of a game, and I know people are probably getting really pissed at me saying all that, but like the John Hamm thing, that had nothing to do with John Hamm being in the booth. That had everything to do with the Blues being in the right place at the right time, and you knew that goals were going to come. You just knew it, right? They took 20 shots, and at the time, I think they had 4, right? Maybe 5. You just knew something was going to happen. This team is not going to take 20 shots and not score goals. In fact, they haven't been shut out all season. I think they're the only team, one of 2 teams, that has not been shut out this year.
Redirection goal. San Jose gets it within 1.
Oh, there you go. Keep it going, San Jose. Take the, get this win.
Vegas.
Get this win. Well, I mean, Vegas has got to win. How many games they got left? 2?
They have 3.
3. Yep.
Right. So they've got to win them all. Right.
Yes.
I would think
they play Dallas on Tuesday. So if the Sharks win tonight, Vegas is done. But if Vegas wins tonight, watch for Tuesday's game because that's going to be a playoff game.
Who do
That
they play
will
Tuesday?
determine the wild card.
Who do they play Tuesday?
Dallas.
Dallas? Yeah.
That will be a playoff game.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
You want to put that thing about fear back up there? I want to take this.
Yeah. Hold on.
Dale, I appreciate your opinion and thanks for putting it up there. Grant Fuhr was on a team that played up and down. One of the first teams in the NHL to really, I mean, yeah, some other teams had done it, and the Russians that, basically Edmonton had the Russian style going, one of the first teams in the NHL to really put the Russian style into effect in the NHL, just up and down, pound you with skill, pound you with passing. You didn't know where one guy was going to be. And I'm going to tell you, if Grant Fuhr was on a team, an average team that didn't play that style, his goals against would have been in the 2s and not 3. And we've got to remember the last year he played for the Blues. I believe he played either last year or the year before. He played 79 games, and I believe his goals against was 2.28. And I'm going to tell you, every player that I've talked to a few Edmonton players, and Gretzky will say it. I haven't talked to him. They will say, without Grant Fuhr coming up with a big saves in the games, we would have never won any of our Stanley Cups. And they're not going to just make that up. If that wasn't true, they'd say Grant really helped us win a cup. But almost every guy verbatim, if you ask him, comes up with the same answer. Grant Fuhr, I'm going to tell you, with the pads the guys play with today, as light as they are, he would be a 2-goal against guy on a team that's not an up and down team. Grant Fuhr and a lot of those goalies in the 80s, they would be just as good as these guys today with the kind of equipment that they had. Because I'm going to tell you, those leg pads weighed around 30 pounds. And then when you played with them, the ice melted and they made them 33 pounds.
Yeah, or more.
The pads today are ounces compared to pounds. So in the wider, I mean, take a look back at a picture I posted the other day of Terry Sawchuk and look how thin his pads are, and they're not wide. Guys, you got to look at the era. You got to look at the equipment they had. Grant and the real good ones like Grant could play in any era and be successful, just like Tony Esposito could.
Actually, I want to answer this. Actually, Ian, Dallas just needs to win one of their remaining games.
Yeah.
If Dallas wins one of their remaining games, they're in and Vegas is out. Because if Vegas loses this one, they were out. So it's not in Vegas's hands, it's in Dallas's hands. Dallas only has to win one game, right? One game.
Vegas is pretty much putting their games where they have to win out, and Vegas, if they win on Tuesday, win tonight, win the next game, they probably make the playoffs.
I don't think so. I think if Dallas wins one more game and Dallas has 2 left or 3 left, Dallas is at 79, so they have 3 left, right? Mm-hmm. And Vegas will have 3 left after tonight. And I'm looking at points right now. So if Vegas wins tonight, they'll be at 91, right? And Dallas is at 93. If Dallas wins one more game, that will put them to where Vegas can't reach them. Dallas just has to win one more game. So they've got 89 points. So at 91, you get 6 points. That's 97, I think. 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. I think maybe Dallas has to win 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not completely in Vegas's hands. It's in Dallas's hands.
Yeah.
Right? It's in Dallas's hands.
And there's still one more period left in the San Jose game. If San Jose still wins in overtime, Vegas is done.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Vegas needs 2 points out of this game,
in my opinion, because Vegas, I think, deserves to miss the playoffs.
I agree with you.
So actually, I'm wrong. The best Dallas can do, or Vegas can do, winning. So they're 4 games back. So that's 8 points. Is that 97? 97? Yeah, 97.
Yep, 97
is 97. So, and then looking at now, they do hold the tiebreaker in regulation wins, right? They do hold that. But I think with Dallas has 6 points remaining, and that's 99.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually more in Dallas's hands than it is Vegas's.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? It's actually in Dallas's hands.
Yep. Dallas just needs to take care of business and not worry
Yep.
about Vegas.
And
We
one of the
have
games they play
seen,
is
though-
against Vegas.
Yep.
Right?
We have seen lately, though, Dallas has been faltering with play. They have not been playing up to try and solidify a playoff.
Yeah, they are coasting a little bit.
Yeah, and they need to step up their play if they want to make the playoffs. And they'll have out of the West, out of the Western Conference of the wild card teams, easiest team to get through probably would be Nashville, just because they will be playing the Pacific, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dallas would have a hard time playing against Colorado, even though they did,
Yep.
I believe, beat Colorado recently. But Colorado is have been benching players, I've noticed.
Kings need one win out of the last two, or 1 point, and they're solidified. Right? In that third. I mean, they're at 96. One takes them at 97. They have 34 regulation wins. Vegas could, if they get to 97, they would get ahead of that, but I don't know. That's the only spot that I think Vegas could bounce into. This would be that Los Angeles spot.
Yeah,
They have a better chance at the Los Angeles spot than they do the Dallas spot, in my eyes.
Yeah. And the Kings, I know nobody's taking them seriously, but if somebody takes them for granted, it's gonna be a quick series for that other team, because the Kings' style of play right now is a style of play that does well in the playoffs.
It is. The issue is they still have some major holes on their roster
Yeah, they
for
do.
a playoff team.
Yeah,
they are ahead of their schedule and
Mhm.
their rebuild. The Kings are one of those teams that could win a series because of goaltending, and we know who is in net for them going into the playoffs, and he has been known to steal a series or two. So Jonathan Quick being in net could be the difference in a series, and because they're playing,
especially against Colorado, because Colorado's goaltending is questionable.
They won't be playing Colorado.
Oh, the Kings, yeah, no, they're
They
playing.
will
not
be
in the
playing
first round.
Edmonton.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they get LA has the better goaltending in that series.
Mhm.
Does the offense falter because they don't have a good offensive game?
Nope.
Colorado does. No, Edmonton does. My bad.
Yeah.
Colorado does have a great offense, but
well, here's a
Edmonton
good question.
does have a good offense.
Best division in hockey. Start with Windy.
Metro.
Oh, not even close. Not even close. I don't even know how you can go to the Metro.
I say Central and then Metro, but to me they're close, guy.
I think
they're
it's very close between the Metro and Central. I think the Cup is going to be going back to the Eastern Conference, and I think it could be a Metro team.
Yeah, it could be a Metro team, but it's either going to be a Metro or a Central team in my eyes.
I'll be happy with whoever makes it from, somebody makes it from the Metro, as long as it's not Pittsburgh and as long as it's not Toronto. I'll be happy.
I don't think Toronto is. Who will Toronto be playing? Is it Washington?
It's not sure. It's not set yet. Nothing's
not
set
yet.
actually.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing's set. Washington right now, or Toronto would play Tampa.
Oh yeah, they would be playing Tampa.
That's right.
Right. Well, that's the Atlantic.
There
though.
we go. We just saw Tampa just put up an 8 spot on them the other night.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know it's regular season versus playoffs, but
Yeah,
Tampa's playing has got into championship form again.
Yep. They're
Watch out
playing
for
well.
Tampa because they could three-peat realistically.
Well, actually, here's something interesting. The Caps, if they win out, they would end up knocking Pittsburgh down into the bottom wild card spot.
I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Right? They could.
The issue
Right?
is they might be without Ovechkin now.
So they've got So they could get 106, and Pittsburgh has 101. Right? I mean, there's a point between the two, so that could happen.
Yeah.
Right?
But that could
Boston
have a
is pretty
hard
much
time.
set where they're at. I don't think that they're getting up to Tampa Bay in the Atlantic. They're 3 points behind them, and with 6 points left, Tampa has 6 points. Tampa needs 3 points to solidify it.
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening. Toronto, I see the first round being, it's not set yet, but the first round is probably going to be Toronto against Tampa Bay. Carolina is more than likely going to get Boston. And then the Rangers are going to get either Pittsburgh or Washington, and Florida is going to get the other one.
Okay, can we all agree that if it's a Toronto versus Tampa series, that uniform matchup's going to be terrible because Tampa just uses Toronto jerseys already?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if it's possible, Nick, for them to maybe wear their black alternate jerseys that they wore.
They have to get permission by the
Yep.
NHL to wear their third jerseys. And
Yep.
I don't think Tampa will do it
Probably
just
not.
because they are two-time defending champions and they never wore the black jerseys in those
Yep.
cups.
Yeah.
Actually, if you want to know who the best goalie ever was, it was between Plant and Hall. I'm sorry. Those guys wore nothing. No mask. Nothing.
Ask Grant Fuhr, ask Curtis Joseph, ask a lot of goalies from the 70s, 80s, and 90s that remember him. And every goalie I've talked to and asked, they all say Terry Sawchuk was the best goalie to ever play the game. And I love Plot and Hall. They're up there in my rankings. But if somebody said, Lance, you can have any goalie of any era to start a game, it would probably be Terry Sawchuk. But you know what's funny is, guys, a lot of people, they're so, and I like the Panthers. A lot of people are talking about the Panthers, and it's scary to me that not a lot of media, unless you're in Florida, is talking about, well, look how good the Lightning are playing, and they've been playing really well.
Yeah. No, and then now Florida, now the Panthers more than likely are going to see. I thought I was like really happy when I thought that Avalanche were going to have the President's Cup curse, especially after winning it twice in a row. But looks like Florida is going to have that now, and the Cap or the Avalanche. I'll be honest, right? I mean, if I'm putting my prosticator's hat on and looking at things in all actuality. I'm picking the Avalanche to come out of the West, right? Their biggest question is in goal. However, Kemper has played well as of late. But at the same time, they've turned it off a little bit. So what does that mean? Well, that the problem there is if they catch Dallas or Nashville, who may have turned it on, then, you know, they may be in for a tough first round. The West, Calgary, whoever they catch could be a tough opponent for them. I think Edmonton, and like you talked about Edmonton and the Kings, that's going to be, you know, the Kings could easily steal that series.
Yeah, I think with Calgary, the guy that is going to have to step up, you know, we all know Matthew Tkachuk is there. We all know that Lucic is there for toughness. The guy to me that's never showed up in the playoffs because of his size and gets beat up in the playoffs is Johnny Gaudreau. Johnny Gaudreau has to show up and be a factor in the playoffs for the Flames to go somewhere. If he doesn't, they can't just rely on Matthew Tkachuk. They can't.
And that's why I think Johnny Gaudreau is gone at this offseason.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
I honestly, and I feel like they brought in Tyler Toffoli close to the deadline just because they know they are not keeping Gaudreau.
And does Toffoli have 2 or 3 years left on his deal?
I think 3.
3.
Toffoli's a good player, and he
is.
has the cup experience to do well with under a Sutter system. So,
yeah.
Well, guys, we're coming up on that 50-minute mark. We're going to go call ahead tonight. Tomorrow we got the Hockey Fan Report at 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I forget that daylight. You know, it should be a good talk. We'll know a little bit more. where teams are. We'll see. I think I'm not sure how many games there are tomorrow. One game tomorrow. Wow.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, Wendy won't be with us tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm watching that game on crappy ESPN because they don't know how to broadcast hockey.
Yeah, yeah, ESPN Plus. I think our game on Tuesday is on ESPN
I think
also.
it is too. Yeah.
ESPN and like the entire ABC ESPN network on broadcasting hockey. What is that camera angle all the way in the nosebleeds?
They have what
It's
they've
terrible.
done is you know that floating camera that they have at
It's not
football
even a
games.
floating
It's not even
camera.
floating. No.
It's sitting in the nosebleed
Yeah.
section, and it's a terrible
Yeah.
angle. It's
No,
the
it's an
worst thing I've ever
overhead
seen.
camera. It's the camera that goes back and
No,
forth.
he's not talking about that one.
Not that one.
No.
They have it like apparently they have it sitting
It's up in
like
the mezzanine.
final row of the nosebleed.
Yeah, it's way up there.
On a weird angle, and it's the worst camera angle ever for a sports game.
It's not even centered in the mezzanine, like Nick said. It's like on the left-hand side, if I remember correctly, and it's looking down like this, way up in the nosebleed.
And they use it when it's on a power play for
That's
no
stupid.
reason.
That's
The
stupid.
power play should not be going that high up and showing it. It
You gotta
doesn't
use it.
work that
Yep.
way.
Yeah.
I agree. So we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Actually, our game is on ESPN, not ESPN Plus. It is on the main network. So you should be, if you've got cable, you should be able to see it. Okay, guys, this is Guy the Wild Blues fan for Lance to Scott and Windy City Hockey Nick saying aloha mahalo. See you tomorrow night on the Hockey Fan Report. Aloha.